Let's talk about what are the things you need to know to be a great charismatic speaker and to connect quickly with the people who are meant to be in your programs and send the other ones walking, right? Because one of the things I think it's really important to understand as a speaker is that you want to polarize your audience. You want the people that can instantly tell they're meant to work with you and want to work with you, feel compelled to find you after your talk. And you also want the people that are not meant to work with you to know that too, so that they can quickly decide, okay, not my product, not my service, not my teacher, let me go to someone else. That's actually what speeds things up for you marketing-wise, money-wise in your business, is not speaking to everyone, but speaking to the right person and speaking with the right energy. So we're going to talk today about the 5 ways, the 5 rules really that I love coaching women on, and men too, but women love this stuff a little bit more, that helps you get on stage and really understand what to do, how to move your body, what stories to tell, how to even build a story. Number 1, when it comes to public speaking, is that the reason you get nervous or the reason you get all in your head about speaking and thinking that you got to be perfect, thinking that it's got to be said correctly, thinking that you consistently need to read from a script, the ability to get over your fears and even just flow in thought like I'm doing right now, for example, is because I'm not up here for myself. I'm up here for you. I'm up here for you guys. I'm up here for you watching at home. And so the number 1 thing that you have to understand is that I can't teach you how to be a public speaker, but I can teach you how to be a public servant. Public servant, which means that you step out of the way and you let something bigger come through on the microphone or the live on social media. And that's your heart, that's your soul, that's your mission. And when we recognize that at the heart of it, what really brings us to a place where we can connect with people and land something big in their bodies and their minds that shapes their life and then ultimately pulls them into your programs, is that you were thinking about how you can serve them. Okay, so that's number 1. And how you do that, I teach inside my programs. Okay, we're going to build our speaker mission statement in just a second, and that's the first piece of it. Okay, so number 2, after you've learned to be a public servant, one thing that people don't like is when someone comes on stage and they just talk at them. So you want to have almost a conversation with people when you speak. Bill Clinton did this really well. He actually spoke in a very common way with people, and he is really charismatic, not because he didn't use all the big presidential words and talk about all the economic thing. He spoke like he was your uncle, like he was your brother. And there's something to say for that. If you can speak with people, not at them, they're going to feel like they are a part of what you're building. They're going to feel like they've been brought in on the ground level. Here's the thing. When you want to build a brand, when you want to build a mission and you want people to join in, you got to get buy-in from them. People love to help support what they feel a part of. People want to continue to say, I'm going to share your video because I was spoken with, not at, and now I feel seen. Okay? And you can see how that comes from number 1, which is all about the heart. It's all about service. That's supposed to be a heart. Looks like a stretched out paper clip. But anyways, we'll keep going. Number 3 is important. And I see it a lot at expos, especially expos like this. It's the Mind, Body, and Spirit and Wellness Expo. Hi. I see everyone paying attention still from way over there. It's when you have a heavy story. Like sometimes people ask me, okay, do I talk about my trauma? Do I talk about the divorce? Do I talk about the suicide? Yeah, you should, if you're ready to. Because deep stories like that connect people. They can see themselves in your story, which is the whole reason you want to share a story. But if you sit in it too long, it can do the opposite. It can repel people because you're literally bringing them down with you. So there's a way to do it in which you don't sit in your story. There's a way to do it in which you don't sit in your story. There's a way to do it in which you don't sit in your story. There's a way to do it in which you don't sit in your story. There's a way to do it in which you don't sit in your story. There's a way to do it in which you don't sit in your story. There's a way to do it in which you don't sit in your story. There's a way to do it in which you don't sit in your story. There's a way to do it in which you don't sit in your story. There's a way to do it in which you don't sit in your story. There's a way to do it in which you don't sit in your story. There's a way to do it in which you don't sit in your story. There's a way to do it in which you don't sit in your story. There's a way to do it in which you don't sit in your story. There's a way to do it in which you don't sit in your story. There's a way to do it in which you don't sit in your story. There's a way to do it in which you don't sit in your story. There's a way to do it in which you don't sit in your story. There's a way to do it in which you don't sit in your story. There's a way to do it in which So number 3 is don't. Oh, I should go like this. Don't sit in your story. You want to talk about the trauma because here's why. People don't believe your successes until they believe your messes. People won't believe that you made it to the top and give a rat's ass about that you made it to the top until they know how you were in the mud, how they know you were in the gutter, because they can go, I get that. I've been there too. So then when they know and they hear your story of struggle, just enough to relate, then you can take them on the journey of where you are now and how you got there. And then they're more apt to go along with you because, well, you didn't talk about you were talking about them, you were serving, number 1. Number 2, you weren't talking at them, you're talking with them, so you're having that conversation. And number 3, you were cognizant of not trauma bonding with the other person out on the floor, right? Like Emily did a great job a moment up there, right? She told a sad story about her brother. Then she told a sad story about her aunt all dying by suicide. That's a heavy story, but if you notice, Emily didn't hang out there and tell us all about her suffering. She wove that into a story of triumph, right? She showed us how she overcame that and why mental health awareness is so important. So tell your story, but don't sit in it, because remember, it's not about you, it's about other people. Does that make sense? Okay, so now let's keep going. So now that we've understood that, all right, I do need to tell my story, well, we got to understand about number 3 to get to number 4 is this. And I'm going to draw a little diagram for you here. When you tell your story, you're going to go like this. You're going to start in this place that I call hell, and you're going to go up to what we call hell yeah. So this is the framework I call from hell to hell yeah. And this is how you're going to tell your story on the stage or Instagram Live or even in your copywriting and emails, right? We got to tell stories to connect. So what you're going to do is you're going to start people off with a frowny face here of things got real. Things got challenging. I'll never forget the day he said, I want a divorce. Okay, let's just open the door there for a second into what's happening. And then we talk a little bit about that. Okay, so that really happened to me. He looked across the table and said that. And I was like, what? Like, I just started school. I'm commuting 45 minutes every single day. You're dropping this on me. So there's the opener. I was in my hell. And so I felt sadness. I felt grief. I felt loss. I felt depression. But then I started to do X, Y, Z, and now I'm here, right? So this is where we position, what did you learn? What did you learn to turn it all around? Well, I started taking walks by the lake because it turns out water is really healing. And then I started to say hi to people in the grocery store because I was really lonely. Like I was just 9 years of marriage, done. Alone in a little rinky-dink apartment in Oswego, trying to get my graduate degree, figuring that out. I had to start challenging myself to say hi to people at the grocery store because I was like, please, I need to know that someone sees me right now. And so what started happening is I would wave at people and people would wave back at me. So I was like, oh, okay, I'm being seen. This isn't such a big risk. So then I went to the lake. I started to say hi to people. I started going back to the gym. I started eating better, right? Now you see how these are all steps that are actually a methodology. So let's just make up an acronym here. Let's see if I can do it on the spot. Okay, so we meditated and then we said hi to people, but that doesn't work. No, that's not gonna work. We gotta start with we started to have awareness, and then we started to say hi to people, and then we started to take walks by the water. It's out of order, I know. And then we started to weight lift and suddenly have ASWA. That's not okay. No, that's not good, but you see what I'm saying. So now you could take ASWW. Let's imagine that spelled something cool. Yeah. And then you'd go, guys, I've got a 4-step methodology called ASWA. It's late in the day. No one cares. Now everyone's looking. Yeah. Okay. Keep going. ASWA. Okay. So I've got this 4-step methodology called ASWA. And if you're suffering ever and feel alone like I did, if you do these 4 steps, you'll get here. This 4 steps becomes your book. This 4 steps becomes your podcast series. You see what I'm saying? So you can take your story and just think about, what's your hell to hell yeah journey? What did you do? Like, really think about it. What did I do to get myself out of that? Break it down to a simple step. Ask AI, ChatGPT, to give you some sort of word that actually makes sense. Okay. So does that make sense? Okay. So now, this is what I call value stacking. Okay, so this is number 4, value stacking. And I'm just going to erase this and put a little symbol so you know what it is. I'll just go like this, okay? And we know that that's value stacking. So let's review. We can't be a public speaker. We can only be a public servant. It's about the heart. It's about love. It's about getting out of your own way and giving to people. Don't talk at them. Talk with them. Have a conversation. By the way, I teach you how to do this in my programs, something called audience compliance. So like, how many of you here have ever felt heartbreak? Raise a hand. Okay, perfect. Thank you for being vulnerable. I use that as an example. That's what's called audience compliance in my world. See how I just asked you a question and then I demonstrated with my hand, here's what I want you to do? Okay, so another example of that is, how many of you here would love to have more money in your bank account? Nod your head or wave at me. Yeah, okay, see? So see how I'm asking a question and then giving you the compliance request? That's a huge thing that people leave out, rookies leave out when they're on the stage. So when you're having a conversation, you want to include those audience components that engage them, because now they're building the moment with you, right? Now they're invested. Oh, I just raised my hand. She just looked at me. I'm a part of this moment. Don't leave that out of your talk. Even live, I do it live now. Or my podcast when there's no one. There's just me talking to a microphone. I will address my audience now. I'll say, or my listeners, I'll say something like, yeah, and like, think about that, guys. Like, just close your eyes for a second and nod your head if you have ever felt blah, 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 blah. They know I can't see them. I know I can't see them, but somewhere I trust that they're probably nodding their head while they're listening to that podcast. Okay, so don't think it's just for the live moments. Once we've got that conversation and that audience compliance, then we don't want to sit in our story. We do want to tell about our messes, right? Because they'll believe your successes if they believe your messes. So we do want to tell about the troubles, but it's not about us. So we're only going to be there a little bit. Remember, we're going to take them through the hell, that hell yeah. You're going to think about, what did I do to get out of my own way and heal? Boom, 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 boom. There's your value. There's your story. There's your methodology. You get to sell that on stage now. Simple. Make a book of it. Go on Oprah. Here we go. Now, the fifth step that puts it all together is embodiment. Now, I got a quick little exercise for you guys to get you to feel what that embodiment's like, okay? Because there's something very powerful here that science tells us through a branch of psychology called embodied cognition. And what embodied cognition is saying is that your body tells your mind what's up. Your body tells your mind what's possible. Way more than your brain does. So, for example, if I were to sit on this stage right now and tell you this, and I was hunched over like I am now, and my shoulders are kind of rounded in, does this look empowering to you? Versus if I were up like I am, right, feet a little bit wider than hip distance and maybe a hand on my hip. Does this look a little bit more empowering, right? That's good for you. So I'm actually encoding. There's encoding and decoding. So when I encode to you, I'm giving you the signal via my body as well as my voice that I am an empowered person. I'm a person who knows what she's talking about. You should listen to me. That's one side of it. So guys, by you manipulating your body in a certain way, by you changing the tone of your voice, dropping the register a little bit, not being up here, but being down here, you can encode to your listeners, I'm an expert in this subject. But it gets better because my own body and my own mind are going to feel what my body is doing. So because my shoulders are rolled back, because I'm letting my belly be soft, because my feet are wider than hip distance, because my elbows are out, I'm taking up space, and confident people take up space. Okay? So if you want to feel confident and not so darn nervous before you go live or before you get on stage, you need to be doing embodiment practices. You need to be standing in those power poses. I have something called the V of Victory. So if you work with me inside of the Voice of Victory Speaker School, which is coming up at the end of this month, I've got a QR code right over there, guys, for $1,500 off. It's crazy. But if you get that today and sign up within a week, you'll get that savings. Also, we got a retreat coming up in Costa Rica in July. So we're going there. We're going all the way. But what you're going to learn is the V of victory. And so we hold our arms into a V. Imagine my other arm was doing it too. And we pump our bellies and we do bastrika or breath work. And you visualize yourself achieving your goals. You visualize yourself doing the scary thing. And then we move and we dance and we groove. So there's a huge part of it that is about, hey, body, I need you to tell my brain what's actually possible. If you don't raise your energy, your mind will get in the way every single time. Okay? So I would love to have someone come on up here. Actually, do you guys have paper or pen? Anything? May not be able to. Okay, thank you. So we're going to do this part of the journey to actually get embodiment in your body and have a real life example so you can see it right now of how this actually affects your listening and your perception of someone's, well, expertise. So there's 3 questions you want to ask yourself to create your speaker mission statement. This is your North Star. This is why you're speaking. And this is your purpose, right? This is why you open your mouth at home, why you open it up at the boardroom, why you open it up, I say, the bedroom, the boardroom, or your business. Okay, so question 1 is, when I speak, I want to feel blank. When I speak, I want to feel ... Maybe there's 2 words, maybe there's 3 words. Okay. What you got? Who wants to share? Confident? Yeah. Helpful. Helpful. Beautiful. Perfect. That's perfect. What you got? What? Engaging. Yes? Beautiful. Okay. Second question. When I speak, I want others to feel blank when they encounter my voice. When I speak, I want others to feel blank when they encounter my voice. Did you even know you get to choose that? Like, that's how powerful you are. Yeah. The panel was talking about energy, right? Like, we have to be more intentional about the energy, responsible for the energy we're bringing in, especially with our voice as we articulate who we are, what our mission is, and what we're here to do in the world. We got to know what we're up to. Okay, what you got? Who wants to share their answers to question 2? Yes, please.
Empowered.
Empowered. Excellent. Love it. Oh, we got empowered. 2 for 2. Yes, ma'am. Safe. Love it. Inspired. Yes. Okay, it's a good one. Yes. Yes. Free of judgment. Beautiful. Thank you. When I speak, I want others to feel free of judgment, right? You getting this? You got anything you want to share? Okay. We'll keep going. You let me know if you change your mind. All right. So these are beautiful, guys. Thank you. Third question. Whoop. Third question is so that, or in order to ... So in other words, why is that a big deal? Who cares? Who cares that you want to feel inspired or confident and that you want to be motivating and you want other people to feel safe? What's the so that? So for example, it might be like, I want to feel, when I speak, it is my mission to feel calm and centered and empowered so that other people feel inspired to take ownership of their lives before they die, so that they might live the best life they could have, or so that they have health and vitality, so that they become a contributing member of society. So take a second there. And those of you who are overthinking, just stop it right now. Yes, ma'am. Oh, so that they feel inspired to change. Yes, thank you. So they feel inspired to heal. Yes? Oh, beautiful. Let's go.
You raise their vibration. Raise their vibration.
So that they raise their vibration.
To better communicate.
To better communicate. And I would say, guys, even all of you could peel it back one more layer. Why is it important that they change? Why is it important that they heal? Why is it important that they better communicate? Right? So you could go even deeper. And the deeper you dig, the closer you're going to get to that wellspring of emotion. You're like, damn, that's good. Okay, so now smash it all together. You're going to need to edit some words a little bit. But it should start with, when I speak, it is my mission. When I speak, it is my mission to, and then you'll fill in part 1. And then you'll fill in part 2. And then you'll add so that, and then part 3. So who's got a full mission statement that they want to be brave and come up to the mic and share? Here's the thing. When you read it, the first time, you're going to read it with your head. But what I want you to do is go home, put that Post-it in front of the mirror, and I want you to say it to your own eyeballs. I want you to look into your soul. I want you to look at yourself and say it. And then think of the people. Remember, it's not about you. Who are you going to serve? Because this is the reason it's important you open your mouth, stand on it, and say it. Who wants to go into the next embodiment exercise? Because this will be a part of it. Okay. So who wants to come up? You want to come up? Okay, perfect. So here, first thing you're going to do. So the first thing we're going to do is everyone's going to close their eyes, okay? And what you guys are going to do is just speak one at a time your mission statement for what you can remember. Okay, and then everyone that's here, what I want you to do is just listen. Don't look at them, okay? I want you to just hear, and then I'm going to do something with their bodies, and then they are actually going to reread them after the adjustment to their physical body. So you guys will all have a before and after, okay? Okay, so here's the before. Just read it as you would, one at a time.
Yeah. Is it on? Yeah. When I speak, I want to feel helpful so that others are empowered to better communicate their message.
That was really good.
Really good. Okay, go ahead. Yep, it was really good.
When I speak, I want to feel confident so that the people I am speaking to feel seen and heard in order to move through their healing journey.
Okay, excellent. So now keep your eyes closed, everyone. We're going to do this. Okay, so turn the mics off for a second. Keep your eyes closed. We will be right back. Keep your eyes closed. Okay, eyes closed. Speaker 1, here you go. Just notice if you can hear a difference.
When I speak, I want to feel helpful so that others are empowered to better communicate.
Yes, that's so good. Okay, go ahead. Yeah.
When I speak,
Bring that mic right in.
perfect. Okay. When I speak, I want to feel confident so that others feel seen and heard in order to, I don't remember what it was. Yes, move and heal through their trauma.
Yes. Let's give it up for our two speakers. Did you guys hear a difference? Yes. Okay, ladies, how did it feel for you, version 1 versus version 2? Did you notice a difference? What was different? Can you put a word to it or summarize it?
It was definitely a confidence stance, right?
Okay.
I felt more confident saying it the second time. It was better.
It was better. You felt
was
more
just
confident.
better, yes.
It was just better. What about you?
It's like a Wonder Woman stance, isn't it?
Yes,
Don't you?
exactly.
I just
Power
see your
woman.
Breastplate. And
Yes.
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for being
you.
brave and coming up and doing this, ladies.
My pleasure.
Great job. Thank you. Yeah, give it up for our beautiful contestants here. So what we did, so those of you that had your eyes closed, I had them adjust their stance. So instead of being so close together or even ankles crossed, which is what a lot of people do, you don't want to do that on stage. Don't cross your ankles. It's comfortable, but this is like, I want to hide, right? So we want to stand with feet apart. We want to have maybe arms at our side, but out a little bit. So try not to touch the body. I had them take their hands actually to their hip, which is just full on, look at me soar, right? Then I had them soften their belly so that they could breathe. I had them lift their chest a little bit and their chin. And why the chin? Because here you have something called your carotid artery. And if that gets cut, you did. Same with your organs. This is why we like to cross. This is why people tuck their chin. Or have you ever seen someone do this when they're talking? They just kind of, if you ever see or yourself do that, it's just because you're really uncomfortable. And that's something to read in someone else too, right? Not that it's wrong or you're doing anything wrong in that moment. It's just they're going through something. So we can learn to read other people's body language too, going through this exercise. So you guys heard it. And they said they feel more confident just by adjusting feet, hands, belly, chin, and chest. And then I asked you guys to remember to speak slower and just take that deep breath. That right there is the power of embodiment. You heard it night and day because they owned it in that moment. Your body, in other words, reflected your belief of your mission statement. The mind doesn't. The mind doesn't do those things. So I always say to people, if you speak from your head, you're dead. Right? But if you speak from the heart, you'll make your mark. Okay, so if you speak from the head, you're dead. No one's going to connect with you. You're going to be a train wreck up here, sweaty and hating it. And you're like, that's it. I'm never going to speak again. That was so bad. But actually, it was probably pretty good, just with a couple of adjustments to your body and knowing these. So let's review. Public servant, conversation, don't sit in your story, know how to value stack. You guys all have an incredible story inside of you with methodology. Plus, the embodiment practices make you a charismatic, unstoppable speaker on fire with your mission. So guys, if you're ready to take this further, I've got a free 90-minute masterclass called Own the Room. All right, it's on demand. You can watch it whenever you want. All you have to do is come find me, scan the QR code on my phone, and I'll get that for you. If you're ready to go deeper, you're really serious about moving your mission forward and being seen and being heard, then join me inside of the upcoming course. I've got 4 months together. There's Q&A sessions 2 times a month, embodiment sessions, mindset work inside of the upcoming Voice of Victory Speaker School. Inside that methodology, there's 2 tracks. We work on your inner voice first. When you work with other public speaking coaches, they're not wrong, but they just do it backwards, I think. They're going to ask you what you're selling, and they're going to ask you what your story is. I don't think you should start there because you won't deliver a compelling, believable story. You won't embody it unless we do the inner work first, which is all about self-belief. It's all about getting out of your head and doing that deeper subconscious and somatic and energetic work to believe that you're safe to speak. Then let's talk about your story. Then let's talk about all of this. So today, this is the second leg of the journey. All of this is really about your outer voice or your projection into the world. But when we work together inside the Voice of Victory Speaker School, we don't touch this until month 3. Month 1 and 2 is all the inner work, so that when you naturally get up there, you just take up space like a confident queen should. My name is Kim Fisher, guys. It was a pleasure to be with you for StageX. I hope this deeply served you, and I can't wait to see you on stage soon. Thanks, guys, so much. Appreciate it.